There are machines that change transportation, and then there are machines that reshape culture itself. Few mechanical creations have crossed that line, but every so often, one does. Its design is simple, yet it carries decades of stories, freedom, and ingenuity within every curve. When something that iconic gets reinvented, it is not just a product launch. It is a global moment that tests how much of the past belongs in the future. This story is about that reinvention, the delicate balance between nostalgia and progress, and how the spirit of mobility adapts to a world that expects both efficiency and emotion. By the end, you will see how a familiar shape still manages to surprise us, proving that timeless ideas never truly fade. They evolve. If you enjoy deep dives into machines that defined eras and continue to evolve today, make sure to like, subscribe, and tell us which legendary model you want covered next. The Honda Super Cub 2025 arrives carrying more weight than most motorcycles ever could. It bears the legacy of the world's best-selling motor vehicle and the responsibility to stay relevant in an age of electric everything. When Honda first released the Super Cub in 1958, it was built to move the world efficiently, to make transportation accessible and dignified for millions. Its purpose was not glamour but reliability, simplicity, and affordability. And in that mission, it succeeded beyond all measure. Over 100 million units later, the Super Cub is more than a motorcycle. It is a symbol of what happens when engineering and empathy align. But as the world shifts toward cleaner energy, connectivity, and automation, that original vision faces its toughest test yet. In 2025, the Super Cub's designers were tasked with an impossible paradox. Preserve everything that made it universal while updating it for a future defined by sustainability and digital life. Every nut, bolt, and curve had to carry forward the DNA of a machine that millions still ride daily in Asia, Africa, and even American cities. The result is a motorcycle that appears familiar from 10 feet away, but reveals its evolution up close. The signature step-through frame remains, but it now integrates a hybrid electric drive that blends silent electric torque with efficient fuel backup for extended range. This design choice was not about performance bragging rights. It was about pragmatism. Honda's engineers studied how people actually use the Super Cub, short trips, deliveries, daily commutes, and concluded that total electrification might not yet serve the global market equitably. The hybrid setup answers the call for sustainability without alienating rural or developing markets where charging infrastructure is limited. It is a quiet revolution disguised in old-school charm. The new Super Cub's headlamp still glows with that round, friendly face that fans recognize instantly. Yet beneath it lies a smart display linking to mobile devices for navigation and diagnostics. It is subtle, not flashy, and that restraint is deliberate. The Super Cub has never been about ego. It has been about independence. The addition of connectivity ensures that riders can access route updates and efficiency stats, but it avoids cluttering the simplicity of operation that made the original so beloved. This version also focuses on sustainable manufacturing. Honda uses recycled aluminum in the frame, plant-based plastics in body panels, and energy-efficient assembly lines. Each decision ties back to the Super Cub's founding principle: democratize mobility while respecting the environment it serves. It is not about shouting innovation. It is about making progress quietly, the same way it always did. Yet for all these updates, the true charm of the Super Cub 2025 lies in what it chooses not to change. The semi-automatic gearbox remains, offering that uniquely intuitive ride that bridges bicycles and motorcycles. The seating posture, upright and natural, recalls the comfort of its predecessors, inviting riders of all ages and experience levels. Even the classic sound, a soft, reassuring hum, was tuned to echo familiarity, though now cleaner and quieter. Behind these choices sits an emotional truth. The Super Cub's success has never been purely technical. It has been cultural. It carried families, groceries, and dreams across continents. It became an ambassador of modern mobility, a shared language spoken from Tokyo to Lagos. To reinvent it means more than updating specs. It means reinterpreting its meaning. Honda's team understood this deeply. Their work was not just about power output or range. It was about preserving a feeling, the feeling of accessibility, optimism, and connection that defined mid-century Japan and then spread worldwide. As electric motorcycles grow in number, some critics question whether nostalgia still has a place in innovation. The Super Cub 2025 answers by existing in both worlds. analog spirit with digital intelligence. It acknowledges that not everyone needs 200 horsepower or track modes. Most people just need something honest and dependable. By staying humble, it reminds the industry that progress does not always mean excess. But this humility hides precision. The hybrid drivetrain operates with real-time learning software that optimizes fuel-electric balance based on local climate and elevation. It is adaptive yet transparent to the rider. No toggles, no menus, just seamless efficiency. The entire chassis has been subtly reinforced using lightweight alloys to accommodate new battery modules without increasing mass noticeably. The result feels balanced, responsive, and still unmistakably Cub. That balance extends to its design philosophy. Approachable, not intimidating. It can park anywhere, weave through traffic easily, and offer a 200-mile combined range depending on mode. Honda designed it to be universal, but it also added customization options. Different seat heights, cargo racks, and style packages, recognizing that individuality now matters even in practical machines. In reimagining the Super Cub for 2025, Honda also acknowledges its fans' emotional investment. Collectors and commuters alike see it as more than transportation. It is a piece of industrial design that shaped lifestyles, economies, and even gender roles. By ensuring compatibility with earlier accessories and maintaining the proportions that defined its silhouette, Honda keeps continuity alive. The 2025 model, then, is not a clean break. It is a handshake between generations. It respects the elders who rode the first Cubs and the newcomers who see motorcycles through a digital lens. It bridges decades of mobility philosophy, proving that the simplest idea, give people freedom to move, can remain endlessly relevant if executed with care. In the global motorcycle market, this approach is rare. Many competitors chase futuristic extremes, but the Super Cub thrives on quiet confidence. It evolves at its own pace because it already occupies a place no one else can replicate. Its longevity has never been about speed or spectacle. It has been about trust. And in 2025, trust is a more valuable currency than horsepower. What emerges from this reinvention is a model that could redefine how legacy products adapt to a changing world. The Super Cub 2025 becomes both mirror and compass for the industry, showing that even icons can learn new tricks without losing their soul. As we move forward, it invites us to look beyond the machine and see what its endurance tells us about the people who built it, rode it, and believed in it. Because this story, as much as it is mechanical, is deeply human. And that humanity is what keeps the engine of innovation alive. But beneath the calm design and pragmatic engineering lies a deeper question. What happens when a machine designed for the masses becomes a symbol for the future of sustainable mobility itself? To answer that, we have to go beyond design and examine the philosophy driving Honda's modern decisions. That exploration begins in the next segment, where we see how the Super Cub 2025 bridges tradition and transformation within the broader evolution of global transportation. The Honda Super Cub 2025 sits at a crossroads between the world that built it and the world it now serves. When it first appeared, the goal was to empower movement. Now, the goal is to empower sustainability. To understand how Honda managed that transition, we need to look not only at the hardware but at the thinking behind it. The Super Cub has always reflected the company's larger philosophy of human-centered engineering. Every upgrade or restraint tells a story about what people truly need, not just what technology can provide. For the 2025 redesign, Honda revisited the original blueprints with fresh intent. Instead of chasing radical form changes, the team studied how the Super Cub earned trust over decades. That meant revisiting its distribution model, its role in developing economies, and its cultural identity. Around the world, the Super Cub became more than transport. It was a business tool, a family vehicle, a personal milestone. By studying these human patterns, Honda built the 2025 model as a continuation rather than a replacement. Under its modest bodywork lies a complex integration of modern systems. A lightweight hybrid motor that self-manages energy use. A regenerative braking feature that recharges the compact battery during urban rides, and an optional solar-assisted charging dock for fleet owners. Each addition responds to real-world feedback from existing riders. Honda chose not to overload the machine with features that serve only marketing value. Instead, it invested in subtleties. Smoother throttle mapping, vibration control, and software updates that optimize performance over time. This attention to context separates the Super Cub 2025 from the usual future-focused prototypes that dominate auto shows. It is not a concept. It is a commitment. The engineers understood that innovation must fit the rhythm of everyday life. For a delivery worker in Bangkok or a commuter in Los Angeles, downtime is costly. Technology must simplify, not complicate. That principle guided everything from the layout of the controls to the connectivity suite, which syncs automatically without requiring new apps. Even the choice of materials reflects foresight. The frame's aluminum blend reduces weight and corrosion. The seat covering uses bio-sourced fibers that resist weathering, and the paint finish avoids microplastics while maintaining the signature gloss that defines the Super Cub's look. These changes seem small, yet they contribute to a broader ecosystem of responsibility. Proof that environmental goals can align with affordability. But such updates also invite debate. Some enthusiasts fear the essence of mechanical simplicity could fade in the shift to electrified systems. They argue that the Super Cub's charm lies in its tactile connection, its minimal controls, the faint vibration through the frame, the ease of roadside repair. Honda's challenge was to preserve that tangible experience while integrating silent motors and software intelligence. The solution was elegant. Keep mechanical access simple, make components modular, and ensure the bike could still be serviced with basic tools. In that way, the Super Cub 2025 remains approachable, even as it hides sophisticated technology inside. The broader implication is cultural as much as mechanical. The Super Cub's rebirth symbolizes how societies blend old values with new realities. In Japan, it stands as an emblem of craftsmanship. In Southeast Asia, a badge of practicality. In Europe and America, a nostalgic artifact reborn for urban mobility. The 2025 edition manages to speak all those languages simultaneously. It is rare for a machine to unite generations. Yet this one does so effortlessly by grounding innovation in empathy. Part of that empathy comes from design restraint. Honda's designers chose continuity over reinvention, maintaining the recognizable leg shields, step-through ergonomics, and soft visual proportions. While other manufacturers pursue sharp lines and aggressive silhouettes, the Super Cub 2025 stays calm, friendly, and democratic. It reminds people that transportation can feel warm rather than cold, personal rather than industrial. The global motorcycle industry has grown louder and faster, but the Super Cub's quiet persistence offers a counterpoint. Its evolution teaches that relevance comes not from constant reinvention, but from thoughtful refinement. The hybrid electric system represents a bridge period, one that allows users to adapt gradually to full electrification. In markets where charging grids remain uneven, this model becomes a lifeline. For city riders with green ambitions, it becomes a statement of mindful progress. In terms of performance, the 2025 Super Cub delivers enough torque for steep inclines while maintaining the gentle throttle response older riders expect. Honda balanced the motor assist to mimic the natural feel of a small displacement engine. There is no sudden surge, no artificial drama, just effortless flow. The regenerative braking adds a subtle sensation of control, turning energy recovery into a natural part of the riding rhythm. Every detail reinforces the same message. Progress should feel familiar. Economically, the Super Cub's re-engineering has strategic implications. Honda plans to manufacture it across multiple regional hubs, reducing transport emissions and encouraging local employment. The modular assembly line can switch between hybrid and fully electric variants depending on regional demand. That flexibility ensures stability in volatile markets and positions Honda as a leader in scalable sustainability. Yet the company's restraint remains its greatest strength. By not turning the Super Cub 2025 into a high-end novelty, Honda keeps faith with its founding promise. Mobility for everyone. The base model remains accessible, the maintenance schedule minimal, and the parts supply globally standardized. This approach reinforces community repair networks that have existed for decades. It sustains livelihoods for independent mechanics who depend on the model's longevity. From a design philosophy standpoint, the Super Cub 2025 represents what some call evolutionary design ethics. It shows that innovation does not always come from starting over, but from perfecting what already works. That mindset contrasts sharply with trends that favor yearly reinvention cycles. Honda's engineers instead looked at timelessness as the true measure of advancement. If a machine can remain relevant across generations, it proves that its foundation was not only sound but visionary. The significance of that insight extends beyond motorcycles. In an era obsessed with novelty, the Super Cub 2025 stands as evidence that endurance can be revolutionary. Its success challenges designers and policymakers alike to consider longevity as a form of sustainability. Rather than disposable tech, it promotes durable design. Machines that evolve through upgrades, not replacements. All of this culminates in an unspoken statement. The future of transportation might not be about faster or flashier. It might be about smarter continuity. The Super Cub's hybrid approach demonstrates how established industries can pivot responsibly without alienating their base. It is an invitation to rethink innovation itself, not as rupture but as harmony between what was and what must be. Still, the Super Cub's legacy would mean little if it could not inspire the next generation. Honda knows that its appeal must transcend nostalgia. It must ignite curiosity among younger riders who grew up with smartphones, not carburetors. The Honda Super Cub 2025 demonstrates what happens when an object transcends its purpose and becomes part of everyday culture. Its quiet efficiency and approachable nature have shaped communities for decades. And now, in its latest form, it continues to influence how societies think about sustainable transport. The Super Cub has always thrived not just because of what it can do, but because of how it fits into people's lives. The 2025 model extends that legacy into the digital and ecological age. In cities, it functions as a proof of concept for accessible hybrid mobility. Delivery riders, couriers, and commuters find that the balance between electric and fuel modes lets them adapt easily to urban congestion and charging limitations. It offers the environmental benefits of electrification without the anxiety of full dependency on charging networks that still vary from region to region. This reliability under pressure makes it not only practical but also aspirational. A symbol of resilience in a rapidly changing infrastructure landscape. Rural users, meanwhile, experience the Super Cub 2025 as an empowerment tool. Where roads are rough and energy grids inconsistent, the hybrid design extends independence. The lightweight frame and low maintenance needs echo the spirit of the original, allowing farmers, teachers, and small business owners to stay mobile without major costs. By aligning with the realities of diverse markets, Honda reinforces its philosophy that progress must include everyone. Culturally, the Super Cub has never been just about riding. It has always been about belonging. Clubs, online forums, and restoration groups celebrate it as a shared identity, linking people across borders and generations. The 2025 model preserves that unity while modernizing the conversation. Younger owners document their experiences through social media, showcasing how the bike integrates into contemporary lifestyles, from urban microliving to weekend adventures. The Super Cub thus transforms from a nostalgic relic into a living design language, continuously rewritten by its riders. The emotional impact runs deeper than style or specs. The Super Cub 2025 reflects a broader social trend. People crave technology that feels human. In an era of automation and impersonal devices, the Super Cub's simple interface offers reassurance. It invites engagement instead of alienation, reminding us that innovation can feel warm, tactile, and personal. Riders report that even with modern systems, the machine preserves that intuitive bond between human and machine that newer vehicles often lose. This continuity gives Honda a strategic advantage beyond market numbers. It positions the brand as a storyteller, not just a manufacturer. Each Super Cub carries with it decades of lived experience, embedded in design choices that respect heritage while addressing modern demands. By maintaining that thread, Honda cultivates loyalty not through marketing hype but through consistency and care. The societal impact of the Super Cub 2025 also extends into economics. Its affordability supports local entrepreneurship. Fleet operators use it for low-cost logistics, while small vendors use it to expand their reach. The hybrid system reduces operating expenses, freeing resources for community development. In this sense, the Super Cub continues to fulfill its original mission, to lift economies one ride at a time. Environmentally, its influence could be even more profound. By introducing scalable hybrid technology into a global mass-market product, Honda sets a precedent for how incremental change can yield massive cumulative effects. If millions of riders switch to partially electrified systems, the reduction in emissions becomes measurable at the global level. This approach complements, rather than competes with, the push for full electrification. It acknowledges that evolution, not revolution, often achieves the most sustainable progress. The 2025 Super Cub also reshapes design culture. In an industry that often equates innovation with spectacle, its modesty feels radical. Its form does not shout for attention. It earns it through purpose. The rounded edges, step-through frame, and minimal instrumentation speak to inclusivity. This design language influences how other manufacturers think about accessibility, inspiring a return to simplicity without sacrificing technology. In broader philosophical terms, the Super Cub 2025 exemplifies continuity of purpose. It asks a quiet but powerful question. Can progress remain humble? In a world driven by constant reinvention, this motorcycle argues that preservation is a form of innovation. It proves that the most advanced technology is often invisible, serving seamlessly rather than performing loudly. Through its global reach, the Super Cub 2025 also becomes an ambassador for cross-cultural design. Whether it's a commuter in New York or a student in Hanoi, the experience feels universally intuitive. It communicates through usability rather than instruction. That universality turns it into a common language, a shared understanding of what good design should feel like. From a legacy standpoint, the new Super Cub's success suggests that design maturity may be the next phase of technological evolution. Instead of creating something entirely new, refining an existing masterpiece may yield deeper, more sustainable results. Honda's engineers have effectively turned restraint into innovation, and in doing so, they have written a new chapter in industrial ethics. The influence of the Super Cub 2025 will likely extend far beyond motorcycles. Its approach to sustainability, design honesty, and emotional connectivity could shape how the broader mobility industry approaches reinvention. Whether applied to scooters, cars, or public transport systems, the principle remains the same: evolution through empathy. In the end, the Super Cub's greatest legacy might not be its sales or longevity, but its philosophy. It shows that when technology serves human needs first, it can stay relevant for generations. It teaches that reliability and kindness can coexist with progress, and that design built on understanding will always find its place in the future. And as the world accelerates toward electrification and automation, the Honda Super Cub 2025 stands as a reminder that innovation does not erase history. It refines it. This machine carries the lessons of the past into the promise of tomorrow, not as nostalgia, but as proof that timeless ideas can guide modern change. The question is no longer whether icons can evolve, but whether the rest of the industry can evolve with the same grace. That reflection brings us to the final segment, where we will consider what this reinvention truly means for riders, manufacturers, and the idea of progress itself. The Honda Super Cub 2025 closes its story with a truth that feels both inevitable and inspiring. Progress works best when it respects its origins. In the beginning, the Super Cub was built to solve a simple problem: affordable, dependable movement. More than 6 decades later, the 2025 version still carries that mission. Only now its problem-solving extends to environmental responsibility, digital integration, and global inclusivity. The transformation is complete but not abrupt. It feels natural, as if every update were already part of its DNA waiting to surface. What makes this evolution remarkable is how subtle it is. In a marketplace obsessed with spectacle, the Super Cub 2025 embodies calm confidence. It doesn't compete for attention through extremes of speed or style. Instead, it defines relevance through endurance. That endurance gives it cultural gravity, making it one of the few machines that truly belong to everyone. Its accessibility breaks class and generational boundaries, making mobility both a personal and collective experience. For Honda, this model serves as a blueprint for sustainable legacy. It shows that long-term success requires balance between technological ambition and human familiarity. Each component of the Super Cub 2025, the hybrid drive, the recyclable materials, the intuitive controls, echoes the same design creed. Technology should feel invisible until it makes life better. That restraint is rare, and it sets a benchmark for how mature innovation can look. Beyond the engineering, the emotional resonance of this motorcycle ensures its continued relevance. Owners describe the Super Cub as an extension of their daily rhythm, an object that fits seamlessly into work, leisure, and memory. The 2025 iteration keeps that intimacy alive while aligning with future expectations. It does not reject modernity. It translates it into a form everyone can understand. On a global scale, the Super Cub 2025's existence represents something larger than its mechanical form. It reflects a social philosophy of progress without exclusion. As the world races toward cleaner technologies, millions still depend on reliable combustion systems. By bridging that gap with a hybrid platform, Honda demonstrates empathy in motion, acknowledging different realities while guiding them toward a shared future. It's not a compromise. It's a conversation between what is and what could be. The legacy of the Super Cub 2025 is likely to influence more than engineering circles. Its example could inform how industries approach transformation, reminding designers and policymakers alike that evolution is not about abandoning the past but elevating it. The same logic applies to how people adapt in a world of rapid change. The best transitions are those that carry forward the wisdom of what came before. Ultimately, the Super Cub's greatest lesson is one of balance. It teaches that progress can coexist with simplicity, that tradition can coexist with innovation, and that technology can coexist with emotion. Every curve and sound of the 2025 model tells a story of continuity, of a machine that has always put people first. In an era of disposable trends, that constancy feels revolutionary. And so, as we step back and consider its full journey, the Honda Super Cub 2025 stands not merely as a motorcycle but as an idea. A proof that timeless design and moral engineering can move the world forward quietly, gracefully, and inclusively. It invites riders to participate in the future without forgetting where they came from. That is the rarest kind of progress. The kind that honors both the road ahead and the miles already traveled.